the speeches this evening. Prepare yourselves. It's from the man for whom one name isn't good enough, he has to have two. Alan Russell Murray, my dad, the groom. Or to stay with the all-at-sea theme of today, as he's insisted I call him, the captain of our ship.
Captain of your ship speaking. Unprepared as I am, I'd just like to say a few words. I'd like to say that in moments of great fear or great danger, they do say that your life passes in front of your eyes. Caroline and I have a little bit of that feeling today. It's not because we're scared or frightened, I hasten to add. It's because we're very, very happy. It's completely the opposite, really, to that. As we look around at all of you here today, all our friends, family, colleagues, neighbours, any permutation of those people that you wish to make, we realise that you all represent different stages and different times of our lives. So you could say that instead of our lives passing in front of our eyes are passing in front of our lives, you people. Just let me reiterate, this is not a moment of great danger or great fear, it is a moment of extreme joy and happiness. Oh, Caroline put that in. I'm only joking, really. Really, we're both very happy to have tied the knot. I've forgotten to put my glasses on, by the way. I'll just do that. Oh, it's you lot. It's not a moment of great danger or great fear, it's extreme joy and happiness. We're very happy to have tied the knot. We make each other feel very special and wanted. And besides, who else would have us at our ages? Anyway, as I said, it's you. You all represent different parts and different stages of our lives. Lots of those times have been happy times, such as when the children came around. Sarah for Caroline, Richard and Rachel for me, and then the grandchildren. Just happened to turn up then. Ben and Charlotte, so far, I don't know if there's any more on the way or any more planned. Ben and Charlotte. Their happiness, Caroline and myself share together. We do, however, want to make one thing quite clear. Despite any rumours that you may have heard about the real reason why we got married last Saturday, there will not be any more children. For us, we've decided not to have any. As for more grandchildren, we'd be delighted, but please give us plenty of notice so that we can build up our reserves of Synatogen and raisins, the light raisins. Unfortunately, we have shared some sad times together. It seems that these sad times are becoming more and more often. Usually it's when somebody near and dear leaves us. We've shared these times together and we've shed tears together at these times. They don't get any easier, don't these moments, but they do, as I say, seem to have got more frequent. So it's at this point that I'd like us all to remember a few people who should have been here today, but sadly they can't be. I'd like us all to remember my dad Bill, Caroline's dad Jim, my mum Margaret, Caroline's Grant Wright, my brother Roy, and Helen, a dear friend and colleague of Caroline's and of many of you here today. Let's remember them all, and any others that we may have missed, by raising our glasses. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to raise your glasses, please, to absent friends, and we will never forget them. To absent friends. thunderbolts and lightning. That could be a message from absent friends, or it could be just a moment in Caroline's life when her life really did pass in front of her eyes. How many of us here today can claim that we've been struck by lightning? Caroline can, and somebody on the same tables can. Fortunately, she escaped with nothing worse than you get from being whacked with a wet tea towel. And you know the old saying that lightning never strikes twice? Well, it did for Caroline. And if that wasn't enough, yes, she was struck for a third time, which I think explains quite a lot. Not least the special powers that these bolts from above must have given you, Caroline. The surges of static coursing through your body, the electric energy being absorbed in every molecule. Special powers that you now call into action every day as you're transformed into Mrs. Murie. With the super ability and the power to live with me. Anyway, I love you with or without the electricity. But talking of electricity and seeing Robert and Joyce sat there today reminds me of a moment when my life passed in front of my eyes. It was at their house in North Yorkshire, helping them to chop down a tree that was causing them a few problems. My years of experience stood me in good stead. Out came the ladder, out came the chainsaw. Up I went. Robert stayed below, holding the ladder. It was a big branch. Bigger than that. That's more like it. The saw made light work of the branch and it started to fall. It was at that point that we noticed electrical cables directly in its fall to the ground. I really thought my time had come. Up a ladder in North Yorkshire. My life passed before my eyes. Something else passed by my underpants. As I said, my life passed before my eyes. However, what passed before Robert's eyes, as he stood there, dutifully holding the ladder, wasn't his life, but the chainsaw, as I dropped it in my hurry to get down the ladder. Luckily, it missed him, and apart from a minor power cut to the whole village, there were no lasting effects, even on me. I'd like now to say a few thank yous. Firstly, to all of you for joining us here today. It's you people, as I said, that make our lives, and the fact that you found the time to be with us today is much appreciated. Thank you. But before you applaud me, however, I just want to say a very special thank you to the mother of the bride, Josie. I want to say thank you, Josie, for that brown envelope stuffed with £20 notes. Sorry, for allowing Caroline to marry me. If you'd said no, then we wouldn't be here today. Oh well. We'll have a toast to Josie anyway, so if you'd all like to raise your glasses and have a toast to Josie. Josie, thank you. Before I finish with Caroline, I'd just like to say thank you to somebody else. He doesn't want any thank yous from me. I haven't had a best man, I've had an anchor man, which goes with the theme. He's not done it on his own, I'm sure that he's done it with his wife and maybe the children as well. But as I say, he does not want me to thank him, but he's been responsible for all the music last week that we had at our house. He's been responsible for a lot of this, what I'm saying to you today. He's been responsible for the invitations that went out here, which everybody seems to think were very, very unusual, but very, very good. He's been responsible for a lot of things, my poverty. But he does not want me to thank him. So I'd like to ask all of you if you would shout very, very loudly, thank you to Richard and Stephanie for all the help that they've given me. Thank you, Richard and Stephanie. I haven't thanked you, Richard. Josie allowing Caroline and I to get married sees the coming together of two powerful diners. Caroline's family being... and my family, the Muries. I hope we can all get to know each other a lot better on many more occasions. Finally, to my darling wife. I can call her wife now. How do you tell somebody just what you really think about them? Especially in front of so many people. I put pen to paper, I thought of all sorts of things. Finally, I just thought I'd tell her what she means to me. Caroline, you're the one that I live and die for. You're the one that I also laugh and cry for. You're the one that I walk and dance with. You're the one I take a chance with. When no one understands you, and no one seems to care, when things go bad and you are sad, that's when I'll be there. I did have a little bit of help.